to another edition of the Sweet Spot. I'm Rocco McSweets, being joined by my good friend JTP, Melissa Hankins, the homie. Unfortunately, they're from Texas. I know they're Ranger fans. All right, I'm a San Francisco Giant fan that lives in Colorado. I understand the hate that you all have for them, but I also understand that, fuck you, Colorado Rockies, you don't get shit. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm doing good. How are you, Rocco?
I'm doing good, man. It's a crazy life that I lead, doing all these little interviews and being able to get to know everyone on like a more personal level, like this is almost similar to a long car ride to like CSW.
Oh, the car rides, dude. That's literally the best part of independent wrestling is giving everyone car rides, honestly.
Joe, and if I end up moving to Greeley, I'm going to make you give me car rides everywhere.
Dude, I got you. And that gives me excuses to go to other promotions anyway.
Are you going to be going to the RW show this weekend for Savio Vega?
It's my first hearing of it. I usually it's just if it pops up on my feed, it pops up on my feed.
Yeah, man. I was gonna head down, but
which day is it?
I think it's Saturday.
I could probably go.
I think it could be fun. It's gonna be.
I think I'm already gonna be in Denver doing a photo shoot anyway. So.
Oh yeah. God, and then you're always doing something with that damn camera, yo. Like recently, you did the wedding for Jen and Pete, which had to have been really fun. Do you do a lot of weddings when it comes to photography? Is that like your main?
Whenever I first started photography was when I was living in Hawaii. So I did a lot of like the macro imaging and like the still life stuff.
Yeah.
And I eventually, once I got really comfortable with my camera, I branched out and I just posted on like the buy sell trade page or whatever, being like, yo, $20, I'll do a 2-hour session, whatever you want. You keep all the digitals, yada, yada, just to build up my portfolio. So like if you go deep down on my Facebook page,
the rabbit hole,
you'll see the pre-wrestling era of just the photographer back when I was developing memories. And it's a lot of like portrait work and stuff. I love doing portrait work, but that's just not what pays my bills at this point in time, unfortunately.
Yeah, my dad was a photographer growing up, and he has some really amazing images that he, took, but like he said, that wasn't paying his bills, so he had to do other things to supplement his hobby.
Yeah.
I've always been really interested in, photography. It's something that's like, it seems so easy, but in reality, in order to actually get the right shot and like something that's truly beautiful, gosh, it's like it's an uphill battle, man.
Well, I tell people all the time that like 80% of what my product is in the end is like post actual taking the photo. It's like all the editing stuff after the fact is what gets me my final product 90% of the time.
Do you work with Photoshop or?
Yeah, I have the full like Adobe setup, basically Photoshop, Lightroom.
Do you just play that monthly fee that they have or something? It's like
I get the annual because since I'm running a business off of it, I can use it as like a tax write-off.
Me and you're gonna have to have a talk after this fucking podcast, all right? Because obviously I'm doing the same damn thing.
Yeah,
and
if you're using it as like primarily for work, you can use it as a tax write-off. You can use almost anything as a tax write-off. Like I even have my internet bill as a tax write-off because I need it for work.
Lucy, I'm gonna tell this woman tonight.
I got you. I'm gonna teach you how to finesse the government. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Because, you had to work for them for a long time. I feel like I'm in the 80s with the music. Yo, I'm telling you, man. That's like one of my, that's that Cody Rhodes synthwave theme. Something that I truly enjoy. Dave Hankins, baby girl.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
Dave would be my father.
Appreciate y'all for coming through and shedding those eyes here with us. So, what was your path into photography? I know you said you started back when you lived in Hawaii, and was Hawaii something that you went to through the Navy?
Yeah, I was stationed in Hawaii for about 2.5 years with the Navy. But I started photography mostly because I'd always had like an interest in it, but I never had like a fancy camera. It was always just stuff that was like on my phone. basically. So it's like I can go through and like my phone saves like everything onto the cloud now, so I can go through and see like all my old photos that I took with my phone. I'm like,
That's cool.
but it was initially like I looked on Facebook Market and someone was selling like the same camera I have now. It was like a whole kit with like 2 lenses, the battery, everything, the case, and it was used for like $300, which was like a super big steal. And I'm still using that camera to this day, so it's
exact
definitely
one
got
that
me.
you bought?
Yeah. So it's
That's
definitely
cool.
it's giving me my money back 100%. Cameras last forever if you take good care of them.
I still have my dad's camera. It's something I display, so it's something that I just kind of have like out, like I'm not.
Yeah, I have like a
It's weird.
collection of like older cameras that I need to
I
figure out
kind of
how
want to
to
do the
use.
same thing, like that's something that's on my fucking radar. Like I want to do that. Like my dad had some, man. He had some really cool ones. Like they look like billfolds. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. Like it's like a little flat, old 50s. Man, it's
Yeah.
so cool. He had a bunch of them, a lot of them. But then when he passed away, a lot of that stuff got lost to time. Just things happen. But
Yeah.
I would like to restart that collection, and
I mean, shoot, if you want some of these older ones I have, I'm not really taking care of them at all.
We'll have, like I said, we'll work out a deal. Maybe I can do some.
Especially if you move into my building, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's if I can. I talked to Debbie today. I was like, yo, I can't do this anymore. We're out. I can't deal with it. Like, no.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll have a private conversation afterwards on why we're leaving and stuff, so that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But golly, man, it's one of those things. Life is hitting at every angle right now, and with Christmas coming up, and it's just it is what it is.
I think over the past like month or two, my heart has jumped from my asshole back up to my chest like multiple times. Just because of life.
If it weren't for the pro wrestling stuff that I do, those like weekends where I get like that beer fest that we did, or like Taco Fest, or like these like they're like mini vacations, right? I'm still working, but at the same time,
it keeps you grounded.
Oh my god, it's so good. I love it. I absolutely love it. Sometimes the show days get a little stressful. What are show days in wrestling like for you, being a photographer? Like, it's obviously a lot different, than my side of things, setting up a stream.
I consider myself like the emergency supply, I guess. So I know when call time is. I just choose not to show up at call time because what am I going to do? I don't have external lighting. Like if I had external lighting, probably I'd set that up, do all the like lighting setup and testing and everything. But since I don't have any of that fancy stuff, it's literally just me and my camera. I show up like an hour before doors open. Yeah. I show up like an hour before doors open, and I'll always text people like, hey, if you need me to get you anything last minute, if anyone needs food, water, like all that jazz, I'll bring it. And I think I've come in clutch a few times at a few events. Like I'll just happen to have WD-40 in my car, or I'll pick up black duct tape because that seems to be the two.
Tripods.
Yeah. Always tripods. That's why I just leave them in my car now, because every time I go to a show, it's like, oh, you guys need another tripod? Okay.
Bruh. Okay, so we've been on a streak lately. So at that outdoor show for BPW, I had to borrow your tripod, I believe, and then for the beer fest, I ended up having to borrow it too.
And then a couple of the primo shows I've had to bring mine because
the last two. Oh my gosh.
the last two shows I've been to.
Anyway, no. And then so just a little, insight. The actual the last two shows, Loaded and the show previous to that, we forgot our fucking tripod. So we had to use Brick's tripod the first show, and then thankfully Michael Allen had a tripod. Yeah, it's one of those things
mess.
That, like, it's like the one thing that doesn't get brought
is always tripods.
And I'm obviously like I rely on others, but I'm gonna start bringing my own tripod. I'm just gonna buy one. If it gets broken, I guess that's kind of what happens in this deal. I mean, we're wrestlers,
Yeah.
What was the path into wrestling? I know you said you started with just like taking regular your average, photography down in.
So it quite literally just kind of like fell into my lap one day. Whenever I got out of the Navy, I moved to Tucson, Arizona, which, shout out to my Arizona boys. Y'all are super all congested and there's way too much going on down there. But it was literally, so when I started working in Arizona, I got a job with a bar crawl company out in Arizona that was run by a guy who ran a promotion out there, which, I mean, RIP Cactus League Wrestling. If you know, you know.
I don't.
But
I'm sorry.
So he had this promotion, Cactus League Wrestling, out of Tucson. And for whatever reason, which I could probably make a couple educated guesses now as to why this photographer stopped showing up to events. He didn't have a photographer for an event that night. And he was like, well, Mel, you have a camera, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you want to do ringside photography? And I was like, bro, I've never done anything sports related in my life. I don't even watch wrestling. Even to this day, I don't watch like WWE, AEW stuff unless I'm with my dad. I don't watch that stuff. It's just